Okay, so in this session, we are going to discuss one most important question is how to write into a file without using write function. Okay, so by the way, file writing, there is a one concept in Python called as file handling. File handling is all about writing into a file or reading something from a file. So if you have basic knowledge of file handling, then you must be aware about one function of file handling is known as write function. A write function is basically used to write something into a particular file. So, but the question here is how to write into a file without using this write function. So, this is a very interesting question. What we are going to do is we are not using any writing related function like write line or something like that. We are completely using one common function, which is nothing but your print function. Yes, you heard it right. What we are going to do now is we are going to write into a file using print function. By the way, you know what print function does. The print function is basically used to print the output, right? But there is a one twist over here is that your print function, using print function, you can print your output on a screen, or you can print your output on a particular file, right? So for that you must be clear about one syntax of your print statement. In my last session, we had discussed about this thing like object separator and end. Now in this session we are going to discuss one most interesting parameter called as file parameter. So basically using this parameter, we can write something into a particular file. So by default, by the way, the default value of this parameter is mentioned over here. And the default value is what? sys.stdout. So sys.stdout is nothing but your standard output screen. Okay, so whenever you print something hello world or hello using print statement, this is automatically printed on a standard output screen because the value of file parameter, by default value of file parameter is considered as sys stdout. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this value, the value of I'm going to change this value. That means I'm trying to print my output on a particular file. So for that I need to create one file. So what I'm going to do is I will simply create one file over here. In D drive I'm creating a file called as um, my print demo. Okay, so I'm creating one text file in D drive, and the name of that text file is my print demo. Okay, so what I want is I will try to print hello world inside this particular file. I'm not going to print my hello world on a standard output screen. I'm trying to write write something into this particular file. Okay, so for that I have to create one thing. What I have to create is, by the way, if you know some of the concept of file handling, then you must be aware about one function called as open function. If you want to perform any operation, like if you want to read something from a file or if you want to write something on a file, then first you need to open a file using one function called as open function. So there are various ways for opening a file. One is using with statement. With open, I'm opening a file name. By the way, open function requires two parameters. The first parameter is the path of that path of a file, and second parameter is mode. Right, whether you want to write something into a file or whether you want to read something from a file. If you want to write something, then the mode will be W. Okay, so I, what I want to do is I'm specifying the path over here, my my print dem. Okay, so and I'm opening it into a write mode. Why write mode? Because I want to write something into a file, and then I'm using as keyword, and here I have to specify the file pointer. I'm considering the file pointer is f. So now my f is pointing to this particular file. Okay. Now what I want to print is, I want to print hello world, right? Hello world. Now, but here I want to print my hello world on a, not on a standard output screen. I want to print it in a print demo file, right? My print demo file. So here I have to use one parameter called as file parameter and is equal to f. In this way, what we are trying to do is we are explicitly specifying do not print it on a standard output screen. Instead, print it in on a instead print it in this particular file. Okay, so this is a basic program if you want to print something into a particular file. Okay, so after printing something into this file, we are going to print a successful message. Okay, like success. That's it. Now I will save this program and I will run this. Now as you can see, the success is specified over here. Let's check our file. As you can see, the size is 1 KB now. Okay, so hello world is now printed in my print demo txt. So in this way you can use print function, to print something in a particular file. So we are not using write function to for writing. With the help of print function you can also write something.